So
We're here
I
to serve the
think
makers,
spring wedding
sir.
would be lovely.
What are you
Don't
here
you,
for?
Sister
You're right.
About...
About knowing who you are. I'm the captain of the guard, I'm loyal, strong, and I don't look too bad naked.
Exactly. And if I called you a mannish, awkward, ball-crushing do-gooder, you'd say...
Shut up, whore.
That's my girl.
He does not approve when we fail to use it.
I'm sorry.
I'm not the one you wronged.
I thought it would end here. That young lady, Hawke, she decimated Flint Company. No survivors. Yet, now that I know who sent them, it's harder to see their deaths as justice.
Death is never justice.
Hawke? We were just talking about you.
Carry on. I love to eavesdrop.
Hawke said sarcastically.
You know, I hate it when you do that.
Hawke muttered in an angry aside to the dwarf.
If, you two have a moment, I've learned who hired Flint Company. The Harrimans, a noble family of Kirkwall. They were my parents' allies. It's hard to believe they betrayed us like this.
Tell me about this family.
Lord Harriman used to be a good man, but he became rather strange in his dotage. He died some years back. His daughter took over the family, Lady Johanne Harriman. They say she's become quite reclusive of late.
Any idea why they turned on you?
Money? Power? It's hard to say. Lady Harriman was always jealous of my family for being royalty when hers were mere nobility. But I can't imagine that pushing her into outright murder.
This is why the cycle of violence never gets broken.
You jest, but that's the truth. Give this up, Sebastian. Dedicate yourself to the Chantry as you swore.
I must speak with Lady Harriman and find out what drove her to this madness. But I am the last of my line. I should not go alone and make myself a target.
Why is everyone looking at me?
I don't know why Choir Boy here didn't yell Hawke to the rescue. That's clearly what he was going for.
If this allows Sebastian to make peace, it is worth doing. You've taken on lesser causes.
Please. I have no one else to turn to. If you like, I can travel with you until you confront Lady Harriman. Otherwise, you can always find me here in the Chantry.
I cannot fault Sebastian for wanting to know why an old ally would turn against his parents. But I fear he's too impetuous. He may do something he regrets. Please, go with him, try to restrain him. If the Harrimans are guilty, they will receive justice from the Viscount. Sebastian need not take their punishment into his own hands.
What is the Chantry's stance on the Kunari presence here?
Would it help anything for us to get involved? Or is it more likely to light the kindling? If the Kunari act against us, the Templars will defend Kirkwall. Otherwise, we guard ourselves best by waiting.
How long have you been Grand Cleric?
I became a lay sister here when I was only a girl. My parents died of fever, and I was taken in by the Chantry. Eventually, I took my vows. After I had served for some time, the revered mothers agreed that I should travel to Orlais. The Divine herself appointed me Grand Cleric of Kirkwall. That was near 30 years ago.
You knew my grandparents?
I dedicated your mother into the Chantry. She was a beautiful baby. Your grandmother was a very proper lady, but she was beside herself that day. And your mother put a fist in my eye.
Are you intending to stay neutral about the Kunari mages forever?
The Maker's time is not men's time. We do not need to rush.
I'll have to remember that line the next time I'm late.
The Chantry is not a domineering father with the whip always in hand. She is a gentle mother who knows her children learn best when allowed to learn themselves.
Who's a funny boy? You are. Yes, you are.
I've been wondering if I shouldn't remarry. I'm sure the last thing you need is your mother watching over your shoulder every time you come home. But perhaps there is still life once your children have outgrown you.
Sounds like you've got someone in mind.
Nothing I'm ready to share yet, so don't pry. But it is refreshing to think I could still be courted at this age.
It's been very exciting working with Hawke.
Are you for real?
It seems like she's involved every time something goes wrong in Kirkwall. I've never had so many opportunities to help people.
All right. I thought I was getting tired of Moody. I take it back. You're making my teeth ache.
First the haberdasher, then the grocer.
So, choir boy, this usurper of yours is, 20 feet tall?
Not even close, no.
But he has claws for hands, right?
Fingers. Perfectly normal ones. If a little fat, perhaps.
He eats babies, though, and farts fire.
You're not serious, I hope.
You can't even pretend to be interesting, can you?
Strange. The door's wide open. And not a single guard posted. This is not the Lady Harriman I remember.
You lazy son of a bitch! What's taking so long?
Flora?
Why does no one in this house care what I want? More wine, or I swear I will drown you in the dregs.
That sounds familiar. I don't envy anyone in this household tomorrow morning.
She doesn't even see us. This is no normal wine.
More logs. It must be molten. You, more coins. I want every scrap of gold in this house.
Please, monsieur!
There's nothing to fear. You'll be beautiful. Pour it over her.
Don't! You'll kill her! He can't hear me.
Perhaps I should be the one.
We must end this madness.
Oh! Lower. Lower.
I beg your pardon, Hawke. I did not mean to expose you to such things.
No apologies necessary.
No. The feather. Use the feather. Where have you been all my life? Today, I am more than a man. Come, felicitate me.
That's a great line. I should use that. Oh, I could get it embroidered on my blouse.
He has no idea we're here. I've known Ruxton Harriman my whole life. He's a complete prude.
That's my kind of prude.
Where's your brother? Let's ask him to join us.
Turn back. There is nothing here for you.
Odd. When we watched you being a drunken ass, you ignored us completely.
You shall not enter.
Demons, temptresses. We must see what greater evil they were protecting.
Starkhaven will not submit. I put that idiot Goran Vale into the prince's seat, but the other families won't heed him. I must marry him to Flora and solidify our hold. But I need more power.
I've given you much. Your desires run deep. You've already traded your husband and your children. What more can you offer?
At the Blooming Rose, 50 silver's standard for a whore.
You'll hardly find my services standard.
Who is this? Who are you? How did you get here? Sebastian!
You were my mother's friend. How could you murder her?
Such an ugly word. I prefer remove the only obstacle between her and her dreams.
This was your idea.
I could create such desires if I wished. But it's far easier to nurture those that already exist. The desire for power is easy to find. You and your friend both possess it, do you not? You both wish to rise.
Not if it meant selling out my family.
How loyal were your friends to you? Everyone has a price. Everyone wants something.
Do not listen to her.
Oh, such a pious soul, masking so much ambition. Are you so different from my lady? You yearn for the same lands, the same power.
I am the rightful heir. She is a usurper and murderer.
You swore to put aside worldly goods and ambitions, but they couldn't stop you from wanting them.
You'll be a good ruler. It doesn't matter what you do to get there.
I'm not acting from ambition. I only want what's best for my people.
For the people who'll adore you. All those smiles they used to save for your brother. Now you'll be the shining prince. All you have to do is kill anyone in your way.
Let us return to the Chantry. I must pray for Lady Harriman's soul. To the Chantry. I must pray for Lady Harriman's soul.
Sebastian, I am so sorry is such an inadequate word. When I think what Mother made us do, what those creatures made us do.
We were friends, Flora.
It was like a cloud came down on me. All I could feel or think was what the demon allowed.
Did your mother order the attack on Sebastian's family?
She did. You know Mother, Sebastian. She was always jealous of your parents. The demon twisted that until it was all she could think of. She was determined to seize Starkhaven for herself.
Was your mother a mage? How did she fight this demon?
We've never had magic in our line. Perhaps that made Mother too confident. She thought she could deal with the demon and not fall prey to it. Those ruins there were unearthed when we expanded the house. Mother found the demon inside. I think she had signed her bargain before we even knew.
So you get all the debauchery and none of the blame?
I wish I was so lucky. Do not suggest I did this by choice.
It's a demon of desire, Flora, not coercion. It can't tempt you with anything you truly don't want.
If it takes every last coin my family owns, I will make reparations to everyone we've wronged. Starting with you, Sebastian. We weren't the only ones vying for Starkhaven. If you face more opposition, you have my support.
It will not make up for what happened.
No, that's true.
I'll tell you when I need you.
About Starkhaven, choir boy. I'm sure we're all burning with curiosity about your faraway land.
My faraway land? It's inland free marches, not on the moon.
Huh. And here I was hoping.
It's a lot like here, but fewer dead people.
Well, you don't have Hawke.
Getting you any closer to your ship.
Huh?
I just don't understand why you're working with Hawke. You don't seem to care about anything we do. What's keeping you here?
Mostly the blooming rose. I'm paid up to the end of the year. I'd hate not to use it.
The brothel?
What? Women can't go to brothels too? You're just not using your imagination. Oh, look. Now you are. You're cute when you're blushing.
I had hoped prayer might cleanse me of the Desire Demon's touch, but I still hear her voice so clearly. I feel like I've bathed in filth that will never come off.
Wash behind the ears. Evil usually gets stuck there.
The demon didn't lie. I used to be bitterly jealous of my brother. I wanted to be prince. Now everything he had is mine. And he lies in ashes. I keep asking myself, do I want this because it's right? Or simply to have what I never thought I could?
Aren't you your parents' heir?
I'm the youngest son of 3. My parents were rather traditional. They wanted the heir and the spare, and I was left in the cold. They put me in the chantry to prevent my competing with my brothers.
You seem very dedicated to the chantry. You were put there against your will?
At first. But it was the best thing that could have happened. I was a wild boy, a shame to my family. The chantry made me a man. It's odd. When I wanted to rule, I would have been terrible at it. Now that I might be decent, I don't know if it's the right thing to do.
It's the wisdom not to want power that lets you use it wisely.
You didn't feel what that demon stirred in me. It cannot be right to lead any army to Starkhaven with such doubt in my heart. I owe you more than I can say, Hawke. I will offer my service to you here before I move on.
Killing a few hundred more bandits ought to help you make up your mind.
You do have a unique way of working out your inner struggles, Hawke. Enough of this. I will make no decision today.
I think this is yours.
My grandfather's bow, but where did you get it?
One of the Flint Company men did some looting. I figured I'd return the favor.
Thank you. It's hard to mourn the loss of a thing while my family lies dead. But I did think of it.
What's the story behind that bow?
As the youngest son, it was my place to lead Starkhaven's militia. But I never had a talent for swordplay. Too much getting hit. My grandfather said the bow is the wise man's weapon. You can defend your city without opening its gates. Grandfather said the day I could pull the string on his bow, it would be mine.
Then why didn't you have it with you?
I was 13 when my grandfather made me that promise. I would rise at dawn to practice my shots until I could hit the eye slit of a helmet from the top of the ramparts. But my parents pledged me to the Chantry before I could show him.
Were you and your grandfather close?
He was a man of the world, Prince of Starkhaven. But he had the most unshakable faith in the Maker. When my parents threatened to pledge me to the Chantry, he told me he'd gladly trade his title for a life of contemplation. The Maker ordained a place for each of us, I remember him saying. We have only to serve.
You can't shoot your family at a charging bandit and stop him dead between the eyes.
Do you hold nothing sacred, Hawke? Still, I'll stop dwelling on what can't be fixed and appreciate this gift you've found for me. I look forward to testing it. I used to be like you, you know.
You used to be a woman?
No.
That explains a lot.
My family put me in the Chantry because I was giving them a bad name. It was the best thing that ever happened to me. I found peace. I found a purpose. Before I came here, I used to be out to all hours, drinking and whoring. I didn't believe in anything except my own pleasure.
Why couldn't I have met you then?
Were you listening to that guy in the Hanged Man last night?
Your eyes are like bumblebees, flying into the window of my soul.
My favorite was, your lips are like the wings of sparrows. Red ones, with no feathers.
Oh, speak, and send the plucked wings of your lips soaring.
I'd buy the guy a drink, but I don't think he needs one.
What are you looking at?
I've got something for you, Varric.
My father's signet ring. Where did you find it? Bartrand pawned it off to pay for the expedition. I can't believe you found it. This sounds exactly like the sort of fake thing I'd make up about you.
When you tell people, mention that I got it from the belly of a dragon.
I'll throw in a couple of werewolves and a griffin for balance. Well, maybe now my contact at the gates of Orzammar won't ignore my letters. Harrimont is hoping that if he just shuts his eyes tight and wishes, the real world will go away. Anyway, I owe you one, Hawke. Remind me later to put you on my tab. Got to tell me what was in that box, Ravani.
Which box? I've opened so many.
Well, those two, but later. Right now, that Kunari relic.
I'll make you a deal. I'll tell you what was in that box if you tell me how Bianca got her name.
Fine. Forget I asked, evil woman.
Are you one of Yevon's sons?
Mistress Hawke? Please help me. My brother, Merrin. Iwan locked him in with the Darkspawn. He sealed the door, left me here and bolted for that passage. He's gone mad. All he cares about is that damned sword.
Last time I was here, we picked this place clean. What's your brother looking for?
Iwan called it the Heart Drinker. He says it's the masterwork of an ancient smith from this Tig. He bought a book from one of the Orzammar caravans. it had the location of the sword. Or at least to the golems who guard it.
Another greedy dwarf. You think he took lessons from Bertrand?
Maybe, but greed is hardly exclusive to dwarves.
Maybe I should have seen this coming. Iwan has been obsessed with that thing. He wouldn't tell us about the sword, but I never imagined he'd leave us to rot.
This is getting just a little too familiar, isn't it?
Please. I don't want my brother to be eaten by those monsters.
Get back to the surface. Looks like I have a date with the Darkspawn.
He's on the other side of that wall. You need to find a way to reach him. Please, come tell my father as soon as you have news.
I need a good long...
By the stone, I thought I was done for. Wait, you're Mistress Hawke. I can't believe it's you. I had no idea the Deep Roads would be like this, that the Darkspawn would just be... everywhere. I've heard the stories, but it's not the same as actually being down here.
Next time, leave the Darkspawn stomping to the people with the big swords. Sound good?
Or maybe I should get a bigger sword.
Ooh, all this talk about swords is making me blush.
I knew Iwan was up to something. He got so evasive every time I asked about the blighted sword. I still can't believe he betrayed us. Do you think he's alive?
From what I've heard, he's just as nasty as the Darkspawn. Maybe they'll crown him their new king.
He wasn't always like this. You know, I never realized what the dwarves in Orzammar are up against. They fight these monsters every day of their lives. I don't think I can sit by and let my people die while I enjoy the easy life of a merchant. Not anymore. Come find us when you return. I'm sure Father will want to thank you for saving me.
That's Iwan, isn't it? Poor bugger. Doesn't look like he got a chance to use the control rod. Maybe the golems are further in.
Too late. The Darkspawn smashed the chest.
Maybe there's still something to salvage in this mess.
Piece of cake.
What makes this relic of yours so valuable?
The same thing that makes anything valuable. Someone's willing to pay for it.
That's not evasive.
Look, I didn't get where I am by showing my hand, you know.
No, your hand isn't what I hear you've been showing.
Iwan, he's not with you. I had hoped...
Father, I told you it would be too late.
He tried to kill Merrin and Emrys, and you're sad he didn't make it?
His betrayal isn't lost on me, Dira. But he'll always be my son. You've given me back 2 of my boys, Messer. I'm in your debt. Please, take this as thanks.
Good to see you again, Messer. There's a letter for you. Strange how the messages never come while you're home.
Your hound is a mark of nobility in Ferelden, is he not? I have heard that gaining a Mabari's loyalty is considered the ultimate proof of character there.
That's him. My own living, breathing, slobbering status symbol.
A dog cares nothing for worldly power. The Maker would like to see us learn from them.
Don't let it go to your head.
You were very close to losing your printing blocks, Varric.
Once more, I am falsely accused of whatever it is I am accused of. Falsely.
Someone swapped the text of my recruitment poster with some filth from the Blooming Rose.
Ooh, that does sound pretty good.
Sure. Fill the barracks with whores. But you've also filled the Rose with guards.
It is true what they say. The best comedy comes from tragedy.